Afternoon, I'm here to talk to you today about our gloves, our competition gloves in fact, the various different kinds, sizes, styles and what they actually do. The gloves themselves are actually made as a safety feature to protect the boxer's hands, not necessarily your opponent's face or body, but the idea is to keep your hands from breaking during the contest. The amateur style that we do, again, we've been doing the amateur IBA approved glove. We did them from 1998 up to the mid 2010s. We stopped doing them for personal reasons, and now we're working with the new governing body, World Boxing, to re-establish our amateur competition equipment. That's these basically. Obviously the difference in this is it's a safety feature for junior schoolboys and female boxers. They must wear this in competition. A red one in the red corner and a blue one in the blue corner. Usually the Velcro fastening at the chin, nothing special, always that way for quick on and quick off. We use the traditional lace top to pull the top in because it fits better than the 4 Velcro straps that others use. The single flap on the back for an instant and quick way of fitting the head guard so it fits perfectly. It's always better to have your own personal head guard because everybody's head is a different shape. These are an expensive item because every boxer needs a red and a blue because they can only use whichever corner they're going in. Ours are probably the lightest and most protecting. Most of the padding's here at the back for the base of the skull, the weakest part of your skull. Obviously if the boxer's unfortunate enough to fall backwards and crack the back of the head, that's when you need that. The rest is for obviously the forehead and around the sides of the cheekbones with ear protection. We use a cross ply on our ear protectors because some kids, we've noticed the ears tend to stick out of if you have one cross piece or just the donut, so the ear's still easily damaged. That is our amateur competition head guard. Competition gloves for the amateurs, again, they have to be approved for boxing. They come in 2 sizes, 10 ounce and 12 ounce. 10 ounces is up to 65 kilos ish, and then the 67 and over use 12 ounce. They have Velcro fastening and usual elastic for to stop the gaping. The Velcro's quick on and quick off because on an amateur tournament the same people will be using them gloves most of the night. Like the head guards, they come in red and blue to coincide with the corner. They're generally made from a special injected mould where the foam is a liquid, hot liquid, that is poured into a mould to make this shape. You can see the knuckle area is a lot more padded and it's a medium to hard solid foam padding. It's all there on the knuckle for safety reasons, and that's the amateur gloves. Now professional gloves are totally different. We've been making professional gloves since the early 90s when we first started. In fact, I've got a pair here. These are our original pro gloves. They were used in world title fights. These are the 10 ounce. These are a multi-layer foam kind of glove. Lace up, as you can see. In the old days, we didn't have as much padding on the wrist because it was supported with tape, basically. These are the 10 ounce pair. If I remember right, the WBU, when they were a decent organisation in the past, when they were quite high up, they had champions like Ricky Hatton, David Burke, Corey Sanders was the heavyweight world champion. They used these gloves, different colours, but they used these gloves and never had a problem with them. Top world champions like Peter Culshaw in his day, he was a 2-weight world champion. He used to always wear these gloves whenever possible. He preferred them. Matchroom used to always use them on the undercards. Fight Academy at Sheffield, Dennis Hobson, they used them on their undercards and most of their shows as well. So they were a really popular glove in the day, and probably when you consider they're 25 years old plus, they're still in good nick, so they're very well made. Today's version is this. This is our 10-ounce fight glove. Again, this is made with a multi-layer foam. You can see it's quite thick. So this one is our FF model. It comes in 8-ounce and 10-ounce. They're being used in other countries at the minute. We're waiting for the board to reapprove them. Don't know why, but there's much worse gloves available at the minute. We know that. I've spent a lot of time updating this glove for safety reasons. A lot of pro boxers get hand damage. It's quite common that they break a hand during a fight. So this is designed for those who prefer a glove that's going to look after the hands rather than being a puncher's glove. It's still a medium to soft fit and feel, but that will, you still get KOs with that one, don't get me wrong. It's a good glove, and it comes in all sorts of lovely fancy colours, as you can see. Lots of pro lads use them at the minute in this country. They're a bit aggrieved that they can't use them in the shows, but they use them for everyday training, for pads and bag work, so they're used to the size of glove. Hopefully New Year things will change on that way. The other glove we make is the traditional modern horsehair glove. Again, this comes in 8-ounce and 10-ounce. It's a softer feel glove. Now, the old horsehair gloves were just horsehair packed inside the glove and maybe a layer of foam on top. What used to be able to happen is unscrupulous trainers would push the horsehair back, crack it, so the horsehair would be down here and the boxer would be fighting with virtually a bare knuckle. The way we've done this these days, it's laminated between two pieces of foam, and the horsehair is actually sewn in a mat, so it can't be broken up. You can't fiddle with it, and it'll stay compact and in place for more than one 12-round fight at least. So it's a modern version of the puncher's glove. You can still punch with it, don't get me wrong. Once it's on, and with the pro wrapping inside, that'll put you to sleep if you're not too fit and not very good with your defence. That will hurt you. But hopefully they don't cause facial injuries. A lot of modern gloves are made in cheap factories. Ours aren't. I can tell you that for nothing. We'd rather pay more money and sell them for less and have a reputation for being safe without breaking hands or breaking faces. Many modern gloves by big brands sometimes can cause serious facial injuries. You'll see some fights on the television where the opponents are really marked up around the face. Like I say, a lot of people these days don't have the experience on making gloves that we have. We've been in this game nearly 30 years. We've been selling the gloves for 28 years now. All our input of being boxers, coaches and managers goes into everything we do. Most of our competition, and in fact I would say 99% of our competition, they maybe like a bit of boxing, they think it's an easy way to get into business, they've made a few quid in a different business and they fancy having their own sporting brand. They'll then go to a factory in China or Pakistan or Mexico and say, do you make gloves in this size, 8-ounce and 10-ounce lace up, can you put my logo on it? Then they're established as a brand. They'll pay the fee to the board or the sanctioning body of whichever country they're in, pay the fee. Not quite sure how it's tested. They're not tested on the same level as the amateur stuff was. That used to pay your fee, it'd be sent to Munich University I think, and criteria was set on how the glove and the headguard should be made for safety reasons. It'd be tested at a university. If it didn't match that criteria, you failed. With these, and so many different governing bodies, you could just give them to somebody to test on a bag or something for a couple of weeks and say, tell us what that glove comes out like. I don't know. I know for a fact none of them are tested the way their amateur gloves are tested in the past. Now, like I said, if you can find another company that has the experience that we have in boxing itself and can say their gloves are safe and should be used in competition, I'd be very surprised. In this country, when we first started off in this country, there was maybe 3 brand labels. There was Lonsdale, BBE, Probox and McGurk. Sorry Mr McGurk and Sunderland. They were the only 3 recognised boxing brands in the country in the 80s and late 80s, early 90s. In the 2000s, with the explosion of the internet, obviously it's easier to find a factory who can make your gloves now, and everybody goes to somewhere that makes a generic glove, and they just ask for they get samples, have their name put on it, the samples come over, they pay a couple of grand, and they're just a glove. Nothing special. 9 times out of 10 used the cheapest leather, where we never use that, and they have recon foam inside, which should never be used in a glove. A lot of these people, like I say, are fans of boxing. They're not ex-boxers, they're not ex-trainers, they're not even ex-managers. They're just fans, and they think, I'll set my own company up. I'll go to such and such a place, make my glove, take it round everywhere, give them away, promote them, and my glove will be the best in the world. My question is, how do they know what is the best glove in the world? They've never actually fought in one. They might have slipped one on their hand before they sold it, or when they've hit the bag in the gym once or twice, but they've never actually fought in one and seen the damage a poor quality glove does to their hands or their opponent's face. So you tell me, where would you rather go to buy your gloves? Somebody who's been involved in the game and understands how things are made and understands how things work, or somebody who fancies just being the next brand name? Even the big brand names that go about, I can't mention them obviously, but some of them, they have graphic designers type people designing their equipment. Again, they're designed on a computer. They're not actually used in a gym or in a contest. So how do they know how safe they are? Always think about this when you're buying your gloves and your head guard and your groin guard, because it's safety equipment. It's not a pair of football shorts or a pair of football boots or a rugby shirt. It's a safety equipment sport, this. Everything, whether it be competition gloves, training gloves, sparring head guards, groin guards, it's all to keep you healthy and safe, so you don't get injuries. And you can get horrific injuries. As we know in boxing, if you don't have a safe glove or a proper made glove, a boxer can be actually as far as killed in the ring. So how would these fans and people who make their own brand up, saying their gloves are the next greatest thing, how would they feel if the boxer died wearing their stuff? They don't understand it. They've never been hit hard enough. They've never been hit properly. They've never broke a hand wearing a glove. Have a think about that in the future. Trust people who know the game, like us, who've spent years and years and years involved in boxing. We do this for a reason. We're not in it to make big money. Nearly 30 years, we've never made big money. Most of our money goes back to grassroots sponsorship deals, helping boxers who can't afford to get the best equipment, helping championships at schools level and junior level. That's where our money goes, not in our bank account, not into a big brand new posh car or a home or holidays. Our main concern is safety and quality and affordability. Thanks for watching. Good luck. I'll see you next week.